Hello, my name is Bob Longmire with Public Sector Personnel Consultants, and I wanted to give you the introduction to the Position Analysis Questionnaire, along with the classification and compensation study that we're doing for the organization. So stick with me for maybe 5 minutes, and I'm going to walk you through what the project is, a little bit about what the project isn't, and define a couple terms for you. So just hang out for a minute, and I'll give you the rundown. So first and foremost, we said classification and compensation study. That's an overly complicated way of saying we're trying to answer 3 questions. First question is, does the job title make sense? Second question is, does the job description accurately reflect what you do? And the third is, what's the going market rate? Right? If you were to not sell the house, you don't pull the kids out of school, you commute in a different direction, what would they pay you? That's a relatively factual and straightforward question. That's what we're trying to ask. Now that's different can your organization afford to pay that market rate? We'll talk about that in a minute, but let me just kind of come back to those 3 questions. So throughout this whole PAQ, the Position Analysis Questionnaire, if you're ever unsure what to put, if you're ever not quite sure what we're asking, remember back to these 3 questions. Does the job title make sense? Does the job description accurately reflect what you do? And can we find your job out in the market? So we're trying to answer those 3 questions. So if you're ever not sure what to put, just filter through, does this response that I'm providing help answer those questions, okay? So notice right off the bat a couple of things the study is not. This is not a staffing needs analysis. We're not saying how many employees do we have, could we let a few people go and just work everybody harder? It's not a conversation we're interested in. No one's going to be let go as part of this process. Also, no salaries are going to be reduced. I don't think there's a better way to demotivate someone and say, hey, do you want to come to work on Monday for less than you made on Friday? Okay, so a couple kind of guideposts here. This is a compensation study. However, don't go buy a new truck or a boat. Don't expect a windfall. There's a lot of things that need to happen between us asking the question, what's the going market rate, and your organization responding, adjusting, changing the budgets, right? There's a lot of moving pieces to this. Our data is meant to simply say, what's the market going rate? Your participation in that is providing the responses to the PAQ, helping us get an idea what it is that you do so that we can go and find your job out in the market. Okay, so with that in mind, I want you to get started on the questionnaire. So at the beginning, you're going to select your department, your job title, your name, your supervisor's name, your supervisor's email from the drop-down list. If anything's not correct, that's okay. We can change it on page 2. I'll be back with a video on that page to walk you through that, but just go ahead and get started. Next question is going to be just in kind of a blank box to say, hey, give us an introduction to what you do. If I were to say, hi, I'm Bob, it's nice to meet you. What do you do? Those are some of the questions that we're going to start to get into here in a little bit. So just stick with us, hang in there, and we'll walk you through everything. But again, remember, we're trying to answer 3 simple questions. Does the job title make sense? Does the job description accurately reflect what you do? And then what's the going market rate? Okay, and again, remember, that's different than can your organization afford that market rate? But all of that will come with time. We want to be able to just provide the data to say, here is that market rate. I hope that distinction helps, and look forward to seeing you on the next page. Thanks.